Well, hello. Here comes the third one, right? And for this one, I was thinking it has to be with content already, right? So here goes. First thing that I want to say now before I get into the content of this video and whatnot is that my videos are gonna be spontaneous. I'm not gonna edit them and cut them and add other things in and out. Is whatever mistakes come up, if people are shouting in the back or whatever happens, is I'll keep going. So there's one thing that I wanted to say, and the thing that I wanted to talk about today is what I think is one of the basics and one of the most important things that we as human beings, I figured out, have to do on our journey. And that would be, I believe we write a lot of stuff throughout the life on the papers and on computer and anywhere, especially on the phone nowadays. But we never really take time to write down the most important things and stuff that we believe or is important in our lives. So I thought that it would be important to point out that if we want to live a full life, if we want to achieve and experience and just have a good life, that we really have to take some time off of the stuff and the rush that we're living in and sit down and take a sheet of paper out and write who we actually are and what do we represent and what do we believe represents us in life, right? So I believe it's one of the most important things before we start setting goals or before we start basically doing anything. And this is, I believe, we should be taught by parents and in school prior to anything else, to basically just get in touch with who we are. Because once we get to know ourselves better, and I think this is very, very important, that we get to know ourselves. And as soon as we get to know ourselves better, this is the time when we can actually start thinking about our goals and what we want to do, really. Because otherwise we just adopt things from our environment, from the way we were raised by our parents and society in general, and TV shows, phones, internet, anything else. Everything and everyone educates us. And I believe, as I said, it's very, very important that we actually sit down and write and get in touch with us. And my story behind this is, at least this year, was for about 2 months. What I would do is I would go hang out with people a lot less than I used to. I was alone, which is very uncommon for who I am as a person, right? I would take 3, 4, 5 days off, and I would just start my day off with a sheet of paper and a pen, and I would write my thoughts, and I would write what I value and who I am, and stuff like that. And I believe as soon as we get more in touch with who we are and we get to know ourselves better, this is the time when we start developing and seeing what we really want from life and what's really important for us, because we all have different stories and we all have different positive sides that we can work on and we can share with the rest of the world. And as I said, as soon as we start contemplating on who we are, we get a better idea of what our goals should be and stuff like that. So I believe this is really, really important. And I would suggest to anyone that doesn't have much time to at least take a weekend off, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and disconnect yourself from, phone, internet, family, everyday activities, and just wake up every day with a sheet of paper and a pencil and write stuff that matters to you down and how you feel about things and who you think you are and stuff like that. And the more we take time for our personal contemplation, the more we get to know who we are and the more we get to know what we like and what we actually want. Because I believe nowadays it's really hard from one side to get to know who you are, but on the other hand is basically the most important thing that we can do in life. Because once we get to know ourselves, we can actually create an environment and friends and people that will actually help us achieve that, and that will actually, bring the best out of us, and everybody wins from that. So I believe this is one of the most important things that everyone should do. So I'll wrap my video here, so I will not, I don't repeat myself too much. So if I just sum it up a little bit, is get inside yourself, take a sheet of paper, write down what's important to you, take time off from stuff that you've been doing so far on a daily basis, and get to know yourself. Basically, just get to know yourself. And you'll see how interestingly things will start to go, perhaps in a very different way that it has been going so far. And I'm speaking from my personal experience, right? Because I always wanted to, I had a feeling that there is more than just what I was living so far. So I believe this is one of the things that really will help you, and it helped me to find myself and to really see what I enjoy doing in life and what matters for me. And sheet of paper, pencil. Good. See you soon.